In the quiet glow of a living room, beneath the steady hum of a television, a console sits like a monument to modern gaming. Sleek, powerful, iconic. The PlayStation 5, a machine built to define a generation. Not in its graphics, not in its SSD, not in its architecture. No, the flaw lies in something far smaller. A tiny, fragile piece hidden deep within the system. The fan connector. A part so delicate that countless owners discovered the truth the hard way. One careful cleaning, one gentle lift of the fan, one routine bit of maintenance, and the connector snaps. No force, no recklessness, just a design too fragile for the real world. And when it breaks, something else breaks with it. The silence from Sony. At first, the community whispered. A few posts, a few repair videos, a few people asking, is this happening to anyone else? But whispers grew into threads, threads into discussions, discussions into frustration. Repair shops saw the same damage again and again. Fans realized they weren't alone, they were part of a pattern Sony never acknowledged. This is where the frustration begins. Not because the PS5 isn't loved, not because the fan base is ungrateful, but because loyalty comes with expectations. Expectations that the company you support will support you in return. For decades, the PlayStation community has stood by Sony. Through console wars, through innovation, through every triumph and misstep. They've bought the consoles, the games, the accessories. They've filled the worlds of God of War, Horizon, Spider-Man, and Final Fantasy with their time and passion. And all they ask in return is to be heard. Imagine the moment. A player opens their PS5 to clean it, doing what responsible owners do. They lift the fan, they see the connector. They try to be careful. But the piece is so fragile that even caution isn't always enough. When it breaks, the console becomes a silent monument, a machine that cannot cool itself, a machine Sony may refuse to repair, calling it user damage, even though thousands have experienced the same flaw. This isn't anger, it's heartbreak, because the people affected aren't critics or rivals. They're fans, loyal fans who grew up with PlayStation, who stayed with the brand through every generation, who believed in it deeply, and now they feel ignored. But here's the truth. The community isn't asking for perfection. They're asking for acknowledgement, for responsibility, for a solution. They're asking Sony to look at this tiny connector and understand the massive impact it has had on the people who love their products the most. When a company listens, trust grows. When a company acts, loyalty strengthens. When a company stays silent, even a small flaw becomes a symbol of something larger. Yet despite everything, the love remains. The fan base still wants Sony to succeed. They still want the PS5 to shine. They still want to believe the company they've supported for decades will support them in return. This isn't a story of betrayal. It's a story of hope. Hope that Sony will finally hear the voices rising from every corner of the community. Hope that they will address the flaw that has affected so many. Hope that they will choose transparency over silence. Because the PlayStation community is not just a market, not just a demographic, not just a number. They are the heartbeat of the brand. And all they want is for Sony to show that the feeling is mutual,